Ike Kupuna is proudly supported by Par Hawaii, First Hawaiian Bank, and St. Francis Healthcare System of Hawaii.
Welcome to Ike Kupuna, the insights, experiences, and knowledge of 5 kupuna who've helped shape our communities.
We'll share their stories. We'll hear their backstories, what motivates them. We'll learn from them, and we honor them. He's a local boy who grew up here in Kuli'o'o in East Honolulu. And there's not a chance, he says, that he would have ever imagined growing up to be CEO of First Hawaiian Bank.
You know, I started off as a mail boy, and I started from the bottom, and then I worked at Ainahaina Service Station. My goal in life was to be the manager of Ainahaina Service Station. And so I far surpassed anything I ever dreamed that I thought I could do.
Walter Dodds, St. Louis and UH grad at 77, kicking back and enjoying retirement.
Well, one of the best things, I don't set an alarm in the morning anymore. That's a big deal, a really big deal. So I get up when I feel like.
And when he does, guess where he goes, often 5 days a week. The building he loves, he helped build, the First Hawaiian Bank Tower in downtown Honolulu. Only this time, he's renting an office there.
I'm getting pretty old now, and I should be slowing down on the business side. And I am, in that I'm not running anything, but I'm flunking retirement for sure.
Case in point, the year after retiring in 2004, he joined the board of Hawaiian Telcom, chaired it through the company's reorganization. At one time, he served on more than 15 boards. These days, he's active on only 7 or 8.
It's not tiring if it's stimulating. And I've made the decision, if I'm on a board where I don't feel stimulated, I'll just get off now.
Now, you're in our special Ike Kupuna, but do you feel like kupuna?
Generally, no. I still think I'm young, and I know I'm not when I look in the mirror, but I still think I'm young. But when it comes to mentoring people in business, I do honestly feel like a kupuna, because I take great pride in helping, and I have a deal around town. I don't like to advertise it because I don't want to get too busy, but I have a very high fee to mentor somebody. It's coffee at Starbucks.
And while he says he too learns from those he mentors, his coffee talk includes wisdom we could all stand to learn.
I come from the school that you derive your income from the community, so you should give time and money and effort back to the community. I'm a very strong believer in community involvement. Kids nowadays, they want to understand the balance, which I respect them for. But they also need to understand, as I mentor them, that sometimes you have to give somewhere.
He and his family, his wife, 3 sons, and a daughter, knew those sacrifices well.
My wife Diane did a wonderful job. We have 4 great kids. I did travel a lot and was quite busy, but I have an exceptional relationship with my 4 kids, and I'm so grateful for that, because it could easily go another way.
When he wanted to run for governor and had considerable community support, he and his wife had a family meeting, and he told his children.
The very first kid said, "Dad, I don't want you to run. You run, you're going to die." Yeah, and the next one says, "You go in there, you're going to try to make a difference, and you can't move it. You're going to be frustrated, and you're going to get sick." And my wife just sat there looking like this, not saying a word, and by the end of the meeting, I had no votes. Not one, so that was my entire career. So the next day I announced that I wasn't running.
And no more getting involved in other political campaigns. His wife, Diane, helped convince him of that. She's here in this center. She also helped influence his love of art. She co-wrote a book on modern-day artists in Hawaii. Dodd says Diane was very private, so not many knew. She fell ill about 2 years ago. They moved into an apartment in Houston, Texas for a year while she received care at MD Anderson Cancer Center. And Dodds became a full-time caregiver.
As somebody who was always involved in business, I was totally unprepared unprepared, other than the fact that I knew I was going to do it and make it work. I never cooked in my whole life. I burn water making a cup of coffee. I really, literally, and I learned to cook. Clean the bathrooms and the toilets and vacuuming and all the things that come with bathing and all the things that come with it. It's hard work, but it's also rewarding and it brings the whole family even closer because everybody does it without, you know, having to be asked, but it's hard.
In April of last year, doctors said there wasn't anything more they could do.
And we brought her home, and I wanted her home in Hawaii. We got her home on a Thursday night, and she passed on Monday morning.
They had 47 years together. How do you get through the grief?
Well, I'm sort of still going through it, so it's hard to say how you get through it, but it's a day-by-day kind of thing.
Weekends are hardest, he says, so that's when he walks, often with a friend, rain or shine. He's been walking for more than 20 years now and usually takes a more than 7-mile route. It clears his mind, he says, time to think. And with a friend, time to laugh, too. He'd also like to continue spending more time with his 3 grandchildren and his children.
More recently, my 4 children and I formed a foundation, a charitable foundation, and so we're giving now, and all the 4 kids and I are researching the projects.
And now he sees the tables are turning.
My daughter put her on a plane last night to go back to LA, and she's saying, Dad, you know, you got a little a red mark on your face. I want you to go in and check that out. You know, I mean, the wheels have finally turned, and they're the caregivers.
But it's kind of nice, huh?
It's nice, very, very nice.
She's been giving back for decades. Up next, we find out what drives Carol Kai.
The business is tough. So many people want a piece of you. When we were down, First Hawaiian Bank helped to get us back up. We are friends, friends, friends. And now we're starting a foundation. And if I can teach them younger artists and further their career, then I think that's what I should do. We are friends, everybody's friends, friends, friends.
Don't stop playing just because you grow up. Stay at the top of your game with St. Francis Healthcare System. Live every moment.
2 out of 3.
It's now or never, darling.
It's time to fill up or shut up. Woo! Yeah. Let's go.
Hawaii is growing older at a faster pace than the rest of the nation. In response to our changing demographics, our city and county has embraced an age-friendly Honolulu initiative and is taking steps to be more age-friendly. Now I invite the business community to join us by embracing the needs of older customers who account for 51% of consumer spending nationally. Through the Kind to Kapuna program, Age-Friendly Honolulu invites businesses to collaborate with us and better support this growing market. Learn more at agefriendlyhonolulu.com.
She is a Hawaii icon. Carol Kai has done it all, from entertainer to philanthropist and co-founder of the Great Aloha Run. And she continues to be a ray of sunshine with those big eyes, big personality, and bigger dreams of making a difference.
I always knew my part because I worked the hardest.
She loves to laugh and tell stories of her childhood.
They used to have boxing matches and get all the little kids to come to we had a big garage, and I would have them boxing each other and charge 5 cents.
So you're hustling from when you were young.
Yeah. I made some money until my mother found out, and then I got lickings.
Carol Kai grew up near McKinley High School and was raised by her mom, a single mother who worked long hours as a barber for 50 years.
She worked really, really hard, and all I remember is that she never complained, and she always told me that whatever you want to do, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you that a woman is incapable of doing things.
Carol did amazing things. She started her career at the Pagoda Hotel playing the piano and became a singer, dancer, entertainer in Las Vegas and all over the world. What was the greatest lesson learned when you were in Vegas?
That women should follow their path and not get sucked up by the allure of money and fame, because you can end up compromising yourself.
The starlet moved back to the islands and entertained us all with Hawaii stars and the local divas.
That was a wonderful experience because I got to work with one of the greatest women in Hawaii, Loyal Garner. And she taught me about love, and she was so talented, and she had a great ear and everything.
And while Carol had the gift to entertain, she also had a drive to give. The Great Aloha Run from Aloha Tower to Aloha Stadium, a race that she co-founded, recently celebrated its 35th anniversary. The run has attracted hundreds of thousands of runners over the years, raising more than $14 million for more than 150 nonprofit organizations throughout Hawaii.
I mean, I don't think that I'm anything special. I think the people who helped me put this together, they're special.
Her name has become synonymous with charitable giving, and it's a constant motivation in her life to make a difference for Mom.
She grew up in Kahalu, and the Hawaiian people there were very, very nice to her. And they were so nice and generous to them without asking anything. And so she wanted to do that, but you know, when you're a working mother and you have no money and you gotta work and feed 3 kids, she would be very sad. So I wanted to honor her by doing something for other people.
And she must be very proud of you.
No, I'm proud of her. No, she doesn't have to be proud of me. I'm just doing what she would have wanted me to do.
Another person who's made a difference in her life, her husband, Eddie Inoue.
Eddie was my very first boyfriend when I was in the 11th grade. And then he dumped me on our graduation night.
How come?
Because he said he wanted to see the world. And he thought that I was limiting his horizon.
But 25 years later, they reconnected and got married. The couple enjoys traveling and trying new places to eat, and she also offered this piece of advice.
When he gets mad at me, I go. I don't say anything. Listen to him. And so after a while, he can't get mad because I don't answer him.
She continues to laugh and brings humor to everything she does, even if it means making fun of herself.
Yikes! I love that. You know why? It gives me a chance to just have fun. And, you know, and if you take yourself seriously and you want to make tantara and have everybody go, oh, you're so cool, man. You know, it doesn't mean anything. It only means something to you. But if you can make yourself relatable to other people, that's the most important thing.
And when all is said and done, how do you want people to remember Carol Kai?
Somebody who cared about them. That's the most important thing for me, that people know that I care about them.
Coming up, lace up those running shoes because we're hitting the streets and the waiting room with Marathon President and Dr. Jim Barahal.
Ike Kupuna is proudly supported by the Arcadia family of companies,
The guaranteed lifetime care was one of the most important factors for our decision in coming here. We liked the idea of being in the same building together forever. Had we remained at home, we would not have been involved in as many activities.
Well, I never was interested in taking photographs up until I joined the photography club.
There was just a special warmth and friendliness and welcoming energy that made us really feel like we were at home. It's wonderful.
Okay, gas, check. Tire pressure, check. Drinks. We forgot the drinks.
Mahalo.
We forgot Kai.
Mahalo.
We forgot Uncle.
No matter where you go, there's a 76 Hawaii with everything you need to get there.
I gotta go bathroom.
Some things never change. Legendary Cocoa Puffs, popular Poi Mochi Donuts, custom decorated cake, all made from scratch around the clock. And we are one of the only bakeries in Hawaii still producing our own dough. Liliha Bakery's original location still serving the fluffiest hotcakes and more. And at Nimitz, with an extended menu serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day. Some things never change. And at Liliha Bakery, that's a good thing. Hawaii's home bakery since 1950.
Hey, let's check out this park.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
For 32 years, Jim Berhall has been the president of the Honolulu Marathon. But it's easy to forget that he's also a doctor who started his own practice here in Hawaii. Along the way, he's performed as a stand-up comedian, a sports radio personality, and was inducted into the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame.
It's the big sporting event in Hawaii. We don't have professional sports teams.
Since Jim Berhall became president of the Honolulu Marathon in 1987, it has tripled in size, now the fourth largest marathon in the United States, with over 30,000 participants and a big impact on Hawaii's economy.
Well, the economic impact is so big that it almost seems unreal. And because, in large part, due to these tremendous numbers from Japan, our economic impact, direct spending, is about $140 million. Huge, huge, huge number.
Berhall was a huge sports fan growing up in Detroit, Michigan, and he used to watch his dad run, so he decided to give it a try.
And it was about a mile, and I realized as I got about halfway through it that I had to stop and walk. And I was astounded that as an 18-year-old who had always played sports, I was that out of shape.
But Berhall persevered and continued to challenge himself.
I love what running gave to me in terms of discipline and motivation, and getting up every morning with a purpose. Was fortunate enough to run Boston Marathon 3 times and lots of other races. And it was through my involvement as a runner that I met the people who were putting on the Honolulu Marathon, who graciously invited me to become part of the organization.
But that's not his day job.
Hi, Dr. Berhall.
He founded Doctors on Call in partnership with Straub and got the idea while doing his residency in Waikiki.
And saw these tourists coming into the emergency room and realized that there was a lot of tourists seeking medical care. And so that gave me the idea to start a medical business called Doctors on Call, and have a very successful, fun and rewarding medical practice. That's been a fantastic thing for me and my family.
Dr. Berhall was also known as a sports doctor on radio and covered UH sporting events and even did some stand-up comedy.
Well, in my own home, I still consider myself a comedian, but the audience is a little smaller. You know, I enjoyed that, and it was a fun part of my life, especially the radio and the doctor sports.
And that's what Dr. Berhall encourages everyone to do. Find your passion and live your life.
Just continue to stay positive. Do what you can. No one's expecting you to run a marathon necessarily. Do what you can, stay positive, understand that success can come in many different ways, many different shapes, many different forms. It's not one thing, and certainly don't let anybody else define it for you.
So how much longer does Barahal see himself leading the marathon?
In a weird kind of way, I think I'm even like more engaged because I'm starting to realize it's not going to go on forever.
But he'll live on forever in the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm not kidding myself. I mean, I understand I'm in, you know, I used to joke, I'm in the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame for writing checks. But on the other hand, I know that I've been a part of a great sporting event. To be recognized as someone who's been involved in sports and has contributed to the sporting life in Hawaii. That's a very meaningful thing to me.
Stay with Ike Kapuna because we're heading to the beach to meet the unofficial first couple of the Waianae Coast. We're sharing the struggles and the love between the Keolanas.
Well, I heard Marcus Mariota can throw football into the clouds.
Well, I heard Marcus Mariota doesn't just help old ladies cross the street. He carries them 2 at a time.
That's ridiculous. Well, I heard Marcus Mariota goes to First Hawaiian Bank. Look! Hi.
Oh, awesome. Who's got the pen?
You actually have it.
They thought I'd lost my purpose, that I would just hang it up. They were wrong. I will not give up. There's still more to do.
Come on, Grandpa.
And people who need me.
Live life to the fullest with the support of St. Francis Healthcare System. Live every moment.
What do you want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Excuse me, what's good here?
Well, I like the mixed plate. Start with the 300 meg symmetrical internet, so you can use all your devices at once. Some all-digital television.
With high def?
Of course. Then some free in-home Wi-Fi, TV Everywhere apps, and maybe add on some whole home DVR.
Sounds great.
Right now, bundles start as low as $49.95 a month, all served with friendly local service. I love this place.
Sands of Waikiki Beach, a young Richard Keaulana tried very hard to get the attention of Leimomi Whaley. She didn't make it easy, but their dynamic worked for nearly 60 years now. And no one could deny that what they've done individually and as a couple has been trailblazing far beyond this shore, but always rooted in community, family, and love.
She was hard to get, huh?
Oh, yeah. I look at her for a while, and I close in after
that. 18-year-old Momi of Kapahulu was working at a Waikiki Beach Boys stand.
I'm renting surfboards for Halea'a, and he'd come over there. I'm going to take a board surf. I said, only a couple hours, and bring it back. He'd stay all day. And then the end of the day, I'm over there, Buffalo, bring in the board, Buffalo.
26-year-old Buffalo of Nanakuli, a surfer who liked to play music.
So finally he comes up to me and he goes, A. I said, A's for apples.
She was the hottest. Took me a long time.
But 6 months later, Buffalo popped the question.
So he says, hey, you like getting married? And I looked at him and I went, oh boy.
Momi also told Buff he had to get a permanent job, and he did. Park caretaker at Makaha Beach. They married November 18, 1960. 2 weeks later, moved into the caretaker's beach house, and 2 weeks after that, arriving home from the store, Momi found 30 boys who hung out at the beach in their studio home.
And I went, what? And I said, 30 boys? I married you, not the whole beach.
And so it was life at Makaha Beach, and soon their family expanded again, eventually raising 5 children and a grandchild. In 1968, Buffalo was named Makaha's first lifeguard. In 1976, he was on the first crew of Hawaii's first voyaging canoe in 600 years, Hokulea, on her maiden voyage to Tahiti. This pure Hawaiian sailing the pathway of his ancestors. He controlled the steering sweep.
So now you gotta try to take it out by pushing it down. But me, I jump up and I see that. I'm going, wow. They go, wow.
That's what Billy said. He wouldn't let anybody steer.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Buff and crew received a hero's welcome in Tahiti. 1977, Buff, with the support of Momi, started the Buffalo Big Board Surfing Classic with categories like 250 pounds or heavier, the dead cockroach. Buff has received many accolades over the years, including the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame. But about that time, a health scare. He fainted and was rushed to the hospital.
His heart rate went down to 10. And he was going, very hard labored breathing. And I said, oh my God, please don't take him away from me, Lord. Please don't take him away, please. I started crying. And no sooner I had said that prayer, heartbeat started to beat again. Excuse me. And then I turned around and looked at him and just grabbed his hand. I said, don't you dare leave me.
They never found out what was wrong. Then in 2016, Buff's stomach hurt so badly he was hospitalized for weeks, diagnosed with cancer.
I was just praying and praying and watching my wife getting panicky.
I said, you're telling me my husband's gonna die? Kathy, I said words that weren't very nice. I was beside myself.
They credit Abigail Kawananakoa for getting Buff the proper care and installing a lift at their home.
When I came out of the hospital, I started getting mad with myself. So.
Just mad because you got sick.
Yeah. You know, it just makes you feel like, wow, I'm better die if I'm going to do nothing.
That's when the man whose church has always been the ocean found another.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself because I go to church. I mean, I feel great when I go to church because
oh, God is good every day. He had lymphoma, and all over his stomach, all over and all too. So we went to check recently and all, and cancer-free.
And now, at home in Nanakuli, soon to celebrate 59 years of marriage this year.
Now it's only her eye and the TV and the telephone. Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us for Ike Kapuna.
Their experiences and wisdom provide guidance and inspiration for all of us, and we'll be forever grateful for their contributions, past, present, and yet to come.
Until next time, take care and aloha.
Ike Kupuna is proudly supported by Par Hawaii, First Hawaiian Bank, and St. Francis Healthcare System of Hawaii.